Yo, people internet. Despite playing League of Legends for about 7 years now, which is crazy to think about, I suck at it. But I haven't exactly given it a good try to see if I really am bad at it, or just I haven't played enough games to see my skills shine through, maybe, copium. So, as a totally sane person, I decided to play 4 games a day for 25 days straight, or 100 games of ranked League of Legends, to try and help solve this just oh so important question. And so that I get something out of me actually doing this torture method of a challenge, I want to go ahead and kind of review the games, review my thoughts on everything, and just talk about it with my feelings, what happened, all of that basically. And, probably going to talk about how much I want to kick a toothpick into a wall, normal League of Legends video things, just the normal review process. Alright, before I get into the good shit in this video, I want to be a little bit cringe here. Okay, listen, I probably put at least 50 hours just playing these games, and I don't even know how many hours will go into editing this, hopefully not many, but who knows. So please, just a free little subscription. It'd go so far for me, it'd be Pog, it doesn't cost you anything. I'm sorry to be cringe, please. Anyways, let's go ahead and ball. Alright, first things first, let's try to set our background info, shall we, before we actually get into the review point. That way we have a starting point. As I've said before, unfortunately, I've played League of Legends for 7 years. Ever since 2017, I've been playing this game casually. Also, while playing casually, kind of feeling like I'm ass at the game, but I haven't really tried at the game. I haven't seen what my actual skill level is at, I would say. And that really shows when, unfortunately, last split with only like 20 games I played, not that many, I was able to achieve the oh so prestigious rank of Iron 2. So yeah, we're really down in elo hell for these games, just to let you know. So, during these 100 games, I'm going to be playing only one, and simply the most based, and my favorite, one champion. Listen, man, I'm working on the script here. It's not very good. This is my first actual script written video, I think. Well, written script, who cares? Dr. Mundo is the champion we're playing. He's simple, he can make a lot of mistakes, and he's very cool. Also, a little side note, I only played him for most games. Sometimes he got banned or got stolen. I wasn't going to do only 100 games of Mundo. I just did 100 games. I think the only reason I really thought of doing this challenge and kind of thought through how I was going to be able to do it, it was a cool little podcast called Broken by Concept. I would really recommend giving Broken by Concept a watch if you haven't already. If you just play League, or even if you want to have a learning process in general for life, go ahead and give it a watch. They talk about so many useful things. I would heavily recommend it. The reason I really want to bring up the BBC podcast here is because they show my thought process and game plan going through this challenge. Coach Nathan and Coach Curtis point out time and time again, it is a process with League. I'm going to try my best to focus on playing to get better rather than playing to win. I need to try to look at what I'm doing wrong rather than blaming my teammates for things going wrong. I need to look at how could I have done that game? How could I have done that game, or how could I have gotten that play better? So we're playing Dr. Mundo. We're making sure to have a good mindset in mind and have it really set in stone before we start playing. I'll be honest, we'll see if it really sticks through. Spoiler, it doesn't. So, we have how we play, we have who we're playing, all that. We still have one thing to decide here. Which build in runes? Let's get a little in depth first and start with runes, shall we? During these 100 games, I decided to run the almost exact same runes. throughout the entire challenge. I only made one small change kind of in the middle days before then keeping with that change all the way out to the end, so we really only made one change throughout the days. I just thought it'd be simpler that way. You may be asking, well, why would you run the exact same runes? Shouldn't you change up between matchups and stuff like that? I'm not good at the game, alright? You would have to remember and kind of be able to know your matchups, I think, to really decide which rune is better than each in that, like, small time you have, like 30 seconds or something. I am down in iron low, man. My brain no understand rune differences, you know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe I could have for a little bit, but dude, it would just burn me out so fast having to be like, okay, which runes are better here. I can't be asked. So we're just running the exact same runes pretty much throughout. So with that in mind, let's run over why I picked my runes. First up, we have to choose our main rune path, and that's by far the easiest decision. Mundo wants to do one simple thing: gain HP. HP for Mundo means he can take more damage, allowing him to absorb more pressure, as any tank would want to do. HP lets Mundo do more damage, as his E turns some of his HP into AD, letting him still be a threat while absorbing pressure. And finally, Mundo wants HP so that he's harder to kill, meaning the game goes on longer, he can scale longer. And usually, the longer a game goes, the better chances of Mundo can win because he scales really well. Which is kind of a double-edged sword, honestly, because sometimes this meant I would have to take an entire hour each between, like, locking in, picking, all of that dodges, just to play a single game. Some days I was there for 4 hours trying to get league games done. That sucked. So, with all these things in mind, the obvious choice is Resolve, which is focused on HP, durability, exactly what we want. So, which keystone do we want? Well, we don't have a way to immobilize on Mundo, so Aftershock, option's gone. And, come on, the option of top lane is literally that it is an island. No one comes up here. Guardian is useless for us. That leaves us with the only option, and it's the best option anyway. It's like, I'd probably run this over even if there were more options. Grasp of the Undying. It deals damage based on our max HP and gives me more max HP. Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. That's what we want. Now, for our slot 1 rune, which once again we can remove an option, that being Shield Bash, since Mundo no have shields. Mundo just Mundo. So we're stuck with Demolish or Font of Life. Honestly, kind of a hard decision. Demolish has its pro of it would allow us to take structures faster, while Font of Life would allow us to heal ourselves a bit more. And I mean, it's a really tough one, and also Font of Life would only allow us to heal if we hit our Q, because it's only after slowing or immobilizing. Honestly, it's a really tough decision. I think you could go for either one, but I end up going for Demolish. It allows us to take plates easier, we get gold, we're able to siege. I think you could go Font of Life because Mundo's laning phase is really bad, so getting that extra healing, it could help, but I think Demolish was the better option, so we went with Demolish. For our second slot, we actually have 3 really good options. There is a competition here rather than one just being removed. Conditioning gives us scaling resistances. Second Wind gives us more regen after we get hit based on how much missing HP we have. Or we have Bone Plating, which allows us to straight up reduce damage taken every so often. All 3 are good options, and I think this is really the rune where it would be like, okay, which is better in this case, you know what I'm saying, but we aren't doing that, so, all 3 are really good, but I went second Wind. I went second Wind, because, me see HP text, me choose. That is my simple reasoning. I think you could go any of the 3 and be fine. Now, for my third slot, I'm just going to be straight up here. I'm going Overgrowth. Unflinching seems kinda ass. 10 armor or MR ain't exactly a lot. I don't know, I just really would not. I don't know why you would go unflinching. I don't see the point of it. Revitalizing is very tempting for Mundo. You heal a lot, like a lot. So 10% extra shield or heal power is the big thing. It's like, it's a pretty good amount. But you want more HP. So, overgrowth. Alright, so that's our main rune path fully chosen through. As for our secondary rune path, there's way too many options, bro. Like, dude, I don't know, whoever designed runes did a very good job in this game, but man, my brain, dude, there's too many options. So, my brain's starting to sweat too much. So, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to just use the most popular second selection that... Come on, Google Drive, I'm trying to do a video here, dude. You're making me look unprofessional. I'm sorry, it's the voices. That being inspiration. Due to lack of no dashes, Mundo might as well be as slow as a turtle in this game. And yet again, even the fucking turtle can roll like a bowling ball in this game. So somehow Mundo is even worse than a fucking turtle. That's just funny to me. So we're going to use magical footwear with the inspiration slot because inspiration, it gives us the most big movement speed option. So first off, we're using magical footwear. That gives us a free boot and gives us more movement speed on our boots. Seems like a good choice for Mundo. Let him just run and catch up with people faster. It's pretty good. And the next one is the one we kind of change out later due to some tech that I found that we'll get into a little later into the challenge. Shout out to Lois. At the start, I use approach velocity, which means basically once I hit my Q, I would be able to catch people faster is the whole goal of that there. So yeah, extra HP scaling with resolve, second tree inspiration, giving us more movement speed. That's our game plan for runes. Now let's kind of go over our item selection. Alright, and on to items, and really quick, I need to cover this out of pure rage. Yes, I am in a different shirt now. You wanna know why? It's because after I recorded that last session, my internet broke for 7 hours. So now we're on a new day. Back to reviewing League of Legends. Alright, so with items, I'm taking a different... You may think, oh, it's gonna be the same thing as runes, just same thing built every game. And kind of, but not really. I see it. I've been playing League enough, and back in the day there was a lot of itemization, so I think I can rub my brain cells together enough to really be able to actually itemize, at least try. So, depending on the game, I'm gonna build a certain way, but there is 2 items that I think are so good on Mundo that they're kind of necessary, right? And the first one being the obvious one, Heartsteel. Heartsteel, very simply, it gives us scaling HP and extra damage based on my max HP. It's literally built for Mundo, I think. Like, come on. I'm taking Heartsteel. The second one is so goated, and I love this item. Warmogs. It is so satisfying to lose early laning phase. I know. Are you alright, dude? You like losing laning phase? But it's the thing of losing that just to come back with more mogs and just win every fight from there on. Because all you do is you walk up, you hit them, you just try to get any amount of damage while not really caring about your HP. You need to care a little bit, obviously, because you can lose the trade, but if you die, it's really bad. So as long as I wasn't too overly confident, I could only ever win or go even. I could always just walk up, hit them a bit, back off. It was just so goated, so slowly I would just force them out of lane or slowly kill them. So yeah, that's our 2 items. I'm going to be running them every game because I think they're the sickest items in the game, and they are very cool. Alright, now, that's all of our baseline information given out. We can actually start, you know, what this video is, and that's reviewing games. Yay. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to break these games into 10 sets of 10 each. So let's go ahead and start with game 1 through 10, shall we? starting off, we unfortunately had our first game against an Alawi, a very difficult champion for me to beat. As we'll kind of see later on, I'm not good against the Alawis. At least I think I face Alawis a lot. I might not. I should have wrote that in the script, but we're funny out here. But yeah, we actually had a not so bad game. I knew that into an Alawi here, I could not beat her fully in lane. Alawi's just so strong, man. I would need to kind of play perfectly and dodge everything to actually win lane. So it was more of a just don't lose situation. I decided to try to play it even, and honestly, it worked pretty well, and I wish I did this more in future games. I went 0-0-3, which is like, yeah, it's not good, but it's not bad, and it stopped her, a champion that usually impacts the game so much, to just not impact the game at all. So honestly, I'm fine with this game. Good start. Then we had probably our worst performance of the challenge. The one and only time we let ourselves get filled without dodging. And there was a reason why I dodged every time after this. We played Warwick Jungle because before this, I actually started this challenge last split. I had some fun and really good games on Warwick Jungle. But I could kind of feel when I was playing it before that those games, it was slowly I was doing worse and worse, and here was really the breaking point of I lost horribly. It was downright a war crime of a loss, and it was all my fault. So we're gonna go on and move on to the third game and act like that never happened, yeah? And I am super happy. We lost laning phase relatively hard, since once again we were into another cringe champion, Fiora. But thankfully, I was able to hard carry my team, just winning team fights and ending the game from there. And this kind of lets me talk about my game plan here, right? So, as we can see here, I lost horribly, right? But I only lost horribly in lane. Lane doesn't matter so much on Mundo as long as you're not trolling too hard, and because Mundo just scales so hard, and my team fighting, I think my team fighting is actually relatively good at around gold levels. It can really help us actually win this game, even though my laning phase, I might as well be on the same level as like a professional ARAM player. Yeah. None. So the game plan, it's simply scale, win through team fights. That's what I tried to focus on. It was iffy on if I really did that. You'll have to see for yourself. On to game 4, we're on a roll. I'm going once again against an annoying ass champion, but I win the game. This time we were into Riven. It's just like the Alawi game. I went even, I never really died, but never getting killed, and we just kind of allowed my team to carry the game. It's good practice, but just kind of a nothing game if we really think about it. Into game 5, where we're into a Trundle top and a Gwen jungle. So, while my team fighting is really good, it was extremely difficult to help in team fights here, but we tried our best. I was a pure tank, peeling from my bot lane, letting them do the carrying, and we won. Game 6, I'll be honest, thank God we had an ASOL there. Their team was beating our ass, but thankfully I was able to win top pretty smoothly, and ASOL, the game just went on for so long that ASOL just eventually got so much more damage that we were able to end out the game, both me and him combined. Finally, game 7, or not finally, but game 7, and unfortunately, finally, our 100% Mundo win rate comes to an end. I'm gonna be honest, Mordekaiser kinda cringe. I cannot understand his range yet. In this game, I just could not understand it at all. So yeah, honestly, I kinda got screwed over by the range. But hey, it's good practice. On to game 8, we made our comeback. We were into a Yorick, and I'll be honest, he beats our ass in the early game. I lost this really hard in the early game. Luckily, their team just wasn't really built for team fighting, and so we were able to just kind of team fight win and go on to next with our LP, which is nice. But yeah, I lost horribly into that Yorick. Game 9 time, and unfortunately, for the first time out of, I believe, 5 times it happened throughout this challenge, that was 5 times, our Mundo gets stolen. So this time we have to play Cho, and I completely lost this guy. You would think, I mean, I'm into a Mundo. I know what this champion needs to do. Completely fucking wrong. We probably got hit by Qs a lot, and we were losing. However, we got carried by our Hecarim, dude. There was not a universe where I should have won this game, but Hecarim had disagreed, I guess. So free carry, very cool. As our final game, game 10 for this first part, we saw for the first time the laner I think we saw the most during these, and that being Gwen. Another kind of unfortunate, it was an unfortunate kind of fucking game here. It's like, Gwen is a weird one. I think I learned a lot on this challenge into Gwen, but here I lost. It was another jungler carry. I got 2 in a row. But it was a thing of, it was really good practice, kind of understanding how one of the champions that's kind of considered one of our hardest counters. I kind of disagree with it. I think you can play around Gwen, but yeah, she is considered a very heavy Mundo counter. It was good to see kind of how we play into her and get some practice with that. But yeah, that ends off our first 10 games. We went 8-2. Not bad at all, and that ends us off. We are officially out of Iron, and we are into Bronze 4. I sure hope we don't stay in Bronze the rest of the challenge, right? With the absolute success of the first 10 games, I loaded into game 11, not knowing and definitely not ready for the absolute horror I was about to see for the first time in this challenge. The archenemy, the demon, Yone. We got absolutely decimated by this Yone Smurf. Like, solo lost the game because of me. This champion is a disgusting design. I don't know how to play into it. It feels like he is the safest champion ever with his stupid, I think it's a W, whatever his ghost move is, where he can just go back to his ghost. He just gets tower plating so easily. He can dive you under tower so easily. It's just free damage, and with like 3 knockups, it's like, dude, I don't know if he actually has 3 knockups. I haven't really looked at his kit, but it fucking feels like he has 3 knockups with how fast it's back up, dude. But whatever. Game 12, and once again, we're into a Mordekaiser. It felt like I did a little better this time, but we lost, and their Udyr was just really good. Unfortunate loss, but once again, more practice into Mordekaiser. EDs, what EDs? Game 13, and we back to winning. Yay. Helping our jungler and our ADC snowball over the enemy team the best we could, getting us a free win. Very cool. Game 14, and of course, because we're simply the GOAT, we stay winning. Well, me and this jungler, we were kind of on different wavelengths. It was, I don't know how to explain it, but we were both trying to win, but in different ways. It was strange. But yeah, eventually, with the help of our bot lane, we got the win. Very cool. Game 15, and we get some good dopamine. It's just the perfect showcase of Warmog. We're up against Vayne, which most people who play top, most people who play tanks, they would be like, oh god, this is just the most cringe matchup. I'm not touching this wave for 10 minutes. Me, I kind of like these range matchups, I won't lie, because it's a thing of I'm able to scale. It's a thing of all I do, go down like 20-30 CS and just slowly scale. Eventually, once I have Warmogs, there is not much she can do. And that's just kind of eventually what happened. I eventually was just to the point where I was stronger than her, and I just killed her over and over. Unfortunately, with game 16, we started a bit of a feeding arc, our first of many. We went up in CS, but just fought horribly, leading to a bad loss. On to quickly game 17, and I don't want to talk about it. Fuck Yone, man. This thing is a demon. So game 18, we were able to win a game against the Mordekaiser, but to be honest, he really beat us lane, and both of us had no impact on who won this game, so our trolling arc continues. Game 19 into a Vladimir, just like game 16, we did do good in CS scene, but I felt like once again, we were kind of trolling in lane fights. I was taking really bad trades here, taking really bad fights, and this is something I didn't really adjust to during the challenge, which I really wish I would have. My laning did not get much better over this challenge at all. With game 20, the trolling did not stop. We were once again into a Gwen, and we once again lost. However, we did better than the last Gwen fight, which means we're improving. This is big, alright? But yeah, that's game 11 through 20. Overall, some wins, some losses. It is what it is. I wasn't feeling like I was just getting started into this challenge. I wasn't really feeling a particular way. The feeding arc was definitely getting to me here a little bit towards the end. But yeah, overall, still not bad. Whoa. How'd that get there? Anyway, on to game 21, shall we? For now, the trolling arc was over. Despite us being into a Fiora, we were actually able to get a win somehow. I'll be honest, despite me being pretty strong late game, I have no idea how we won this game. I don't remember this game really well, and it's like, I'm looking at these stat lines, man, and it don't make no sense to me, but a win is a win. Game 22, and we got an interesting game. We are into our first Nasus. Now, Nasus wants to basically do the same thing we do. Fuck early game, just scale and win late game. So we need to be a little more aggressive than our normal matchups and try to have a bit more of an impact on the game than he does. Which we succeed at. We get 10 more CS than him, which honestly I think is he had 10 more CS than us. I can't read. He had 10 more CS than us, but I still consider that a dub because Nasus players, dude, they are fucking farmers, dude. That is all they know. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter that he farmed because eventually we get to the point of team fights and I was able to beat him out and win the game. Now on to game 23, and probably our most embarrassing loss yet. We lost into some cringy daters with matching names. Ooh. I don't want to talk about it too much, to be honest, but yeah, it's another Mordekaiser game. Go next. Game 24, and oh boy, I think the trolling arc's back. Seriously, what do I do into an Heimer? I still don't even understand, dude. Like, dude, I do not understand the Heimerdinger matchup at all. This was one of the games where I don't know. I felt useless. I had no idea what to do. But we get a little bit of a break from trolling for game 25, or 1/4 of the way through the 100 games kind of point. And surprisingly, it was into a Yorick, and I do not know why, but I do really good into Yoriks. I usually feel like when I'm playing into Yorick that his champ is really unfair and that I'm hard trolling, but I just beat Yorick so much during this 100 days challenge, or 100 games challenge, and I don't know why, man. I'll be honest. Maybe just luck of the draw, or maybe I'm secretly cracked, but only against Yorick's. Game 26, and unfortunately, once again, our Mundo got stolen, meaning we were once again on the Cho'Gath. And despite, I think, us doing better this time, we did still lose. It's an unfortunate one. There's not much to talk about because I'm playing Cho'Gath, I'm not playing Mundo. Mundo is kind of our real main thing of locking in and focusing on, so I don't know. Game 27, and man, this could have been a win. This so easily could have been a win, but unfortunately, my team disagreed. Big sad, big sad. We went at 1-0, dude. I don't know. Sometimes you just get these games, I guess. Game 28, and oh boy, does the losing not end. I'll be honest, I hard disrespected Kench this game. He was just a lot stronger than I thought throughout the game. He just beat my ass, and I pushed up way too much against him. It is what it is. We learn and we move on, you know what I'm saying? Game 29. And while we win, it kind of sucks. We still kind of troll. We only really got carried by our bot lane. I really dislike games where I win, but I do bad because it doesn't feel right. Our final game of these 30, and I finally locked in. We were against a set. We did really good with our game plan. We lost early, but we scaled really hard and eventually helped our team win some team fights and win the game straight out. That's the end of game 30. Game 31, despite there being the reason for what will eventually probably become PTSD for me on the enemy team, we were into a Yorick once again. And being apparently our best matchup, either that or we just are cursed with good luck, we were able to win despite our kind of trolling bot lane. I'll be honest, that bot lane kind of cooked. 32 was kind of a cakewalk. We were once again into a Nasus. We did a little bit worse than the first time, but with how good our team was, the game, we were just able to ball it out of control and win despite how kind of iffy I was doing. Game 33, 1/3 of the way through this challenge, and we win once again. I sure hope nothing silly happens and we start losing horribly. That wouldn't happen, right? In this game, we were into Nasus again, and same plan. We even had more CS, but by the end, we're getting better. Very cool. Game 34 to game 44. It's gonna be a little bit different here. These games kind of showcase why I kind of dislike this game a lot. Despite doing honestly pretty well for these games and being pretty happy with the game so far. Like, the games before this were really good. I was on a pretty good, like, mental streak at the moment. I was doing really well. Then we got here. At this point, I believe League genuinely might have a curse cast on it. See, in these 10 games, I lost 9 of them. In the one game I won, I played like hot dog shit. Like, I was playing iffy throughout them. And this game is somehow the one I win. And that kind of shows us the issue I have with League. See, unfortunately, League is a 5v5 game, meaning it's a team game. Sometimes, despite you doing well, it's a 5v5. Your team will not do well. And while I can try to focus on myself, it just does not feel good when you do well and then you see your teammates scoreline. It's like, it shouldn't impact me, but it does. I know it shouldn't, but it's bad. It's a thing of no matter, it's another thing that no matter, even if you're the best player in the world, say you're Faker, Faker still loses games, and unlike a 1v1 game where it's you can't blame anyone else, right? It is still a mental block to be like, I can blame teammates, I should be able to just blame myself, but the fact that it's a 5v5 makes it very difficult for me, at least, to really put all blame on me. I want to blame the teammates no matter what, and it's just like, it sucks, right? It just sucks. So those things said, unfortunately for me, at least the losses just impact me more than the wins. Man, I don't know. I think League is a thing of you need to feel well in the wins more so than you need to feel bad in the losses, and it's hard for me to do that. And another thing is, these games take so much fucking time. It sucks. Alright, with that said, let's get back into normal reviewing for now, shall we? Just now, this bad loss streak, it impacted me heavy during the rest of the challenge. This is really what set me down a thing of, this game sucks. I just need to get through these. Just need to get through these games. This is where it really started. Before we get into game 45, during that horrible loss streak, there was at least something I learned and discovered during that, and that was that rune change that I talked about a little bit before in that rune section. I had changed approach velocity out for biscuit delivery early into these games, and eventually just decided to stick with it because I felt it was a lot better. The reason for this is quite simple. See, during this entire challenge, I've mostly been going Warmogs first. Sometimes I'll have Heartsteel first games, but mostly Warmogs first just because it's really good and I really like how it works. However, going Warmogs first, there is a very small problem. Usually when you go Warmogs first, you need to get an item or get a bunch of rune procs to actually activate your Warmog's passive, because usually when you get Warmogs first, at least on Mundo, by that point in the game you'll usually have like 1450 HP, 1458 or something, and it's like, oh wow, so I need to either wait some time for rune procs or get another ruby crystal. It's kinda cringe. However, there's something with biscuits, you see. Biscuits give you 30 max HP each time you eat them, and you get 3 of these. So actually going biscuits allows you to get Warmog's first item, and it completely gets rid of the tempo problem of having to actually buy another item or wait for runes. It's such a good tech that was found. I did not find it myself. I just saw it on a Lois video, and I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. So yeah, and the nice thing as well is that biscuits are just generally really good. Mundo's not very good in early laning phase, and having 3 extra HP potions pretty much, it's so good and it's so nice. So anyway, on to the game. I'll be honest, I wasn't the happiest with it. We were into an Akali for the first time, and while we were able to actually beat her and get more CS than her, she was still really useful for her team. We weren't able to fully shut her down, and that kind of hurt, especially after we go on this whole losing streak. I want a big comeback moment where it's like, I completely beat her. Absolutely, but no. But hey, it breaks the loss streak. With game 46, we were into Fiora, and it went bad again. See, I should be either fine or not care after a loss when we got a win. You know, 50% win rate, that still lets you climb, but for some reason, man, the losses, they just hurt more than the wins heal, dude. On to game 47, and at least it's not another loss streak. The game went fast, and we were even able to kill him once, so can't be mad. Is a win. Right now, we'll take it. Game 48. And we were into a Heimer again, as well as a Smurf in the enemy team. The rage, it just grows. We may be out of the loss streak, but we won't stop losing every so often. It's like, oh, man, there may have been a loss streak, but we ain't getting a win streak. Game 49. And finally, our practice against Gwen actually paid off. We were able to beat Gwen and feel good with it. Feel good, man. We're making progress? Never mind, game 50. It sucked. It was kind of the first case that I can really remember where we were able to win early. We were able to win early into a Darius, But then we just started trolling, and I don't know why, man. The loss streak, it impacted me, man. I can't get over it. But yeah, at our halfway point, depression is setting in. But hey, game 51. We won! Though it wasn't a complete win, with the laner we were against getting the ace, it's just into a champion like Shen, and we're winning. We should have been able to beat him so much more. It's a win, but it just... my brain at this point was too just enraged to see it as a complete win. Game 52, and let's fucking go. Mundo carry. We're pogging. On to the next. Doesn't cure the depression, but it does at least help. We're not complete dog shit at least. On to game 53. It was unfortunately one of those games. We did pretty well, but it wasn't really enough to get us the win. We've been all doom and gloom. It's ever since that bad loss streak. It's not been good for us. I'd be lying if I said my mental was still fully there. But game 54 did help, at least a little bit. We were into a Warwick top, and he got obliterated. It was so nice feeling for at least a bit to just feel like I am okay at the game. I can do something, right? I can still completely outclass someone. I'm not the worst of the worst. Even if really this dude was probably just like Kadeem levels of IQ, it's not like the greatest thing ever. It still felt really good. It felt good. Bullying, very cool. With game 55, we were into a rise, and luckily I was still kind of locked in from the last game and just the happiness. So even with a Yone on the enemy team, and I'll still tell you, this guy was fucking cringe, alright? I hate Yones every time I see them. We won. And we didn't do too bad at all, honestly. Sure, the Yone was cringe, but it's alright. On game 56, we fucked up and played like complete dog shit into an Alawi, ending our small win streak. Alawi, cringe. All I need to say. All you need to know, really. In game 57, I think we just got aura gapped, dude. We laned into LeBron's James, alright? And he was on Teemo. Dude. I may like going into fucking range top laners, and I have my Warmock strat, but LeBron's James? I went positive, but dude, I did really good this game, I think, but man, LeBron's James, he's too good. The aura, man, the aura, I didn't know what to do. Game 58 was another game where I shit the bed. But my team was able to clutch out a win, which fucking sucks. Like, cool, I won, but I want to play well. That's all I care about. That's supposed to be what my mind focuses on, because... And into game 59, I must have fucking diarrhea, because I shit the bed again. Run it back. This time into a Fiora. But this time my team couldn't carry me. The shit was everywhere. It's all over the lands, dude. It's a loss. Man, games like game 60 suck. Outdamage my laner, get more kills, get more CS. I feel like I'm gapping them, but it doesn't matter. It's still a loss. It just feels so dog shit, man. My mental, it's booming. Game 61, another game, another loss. At this point in the challenge, I certainly was starting to, if not already, fully insane. Game 62, and wait, actually won? Triple kill? Scaled and delayed. My god, is this not over? Are we back? League decides to throw me a bone with game 63, letting me lane into an Iron Schmolder who I simply outscaled and Warmock is capped. Into game 64, these guys gotta stop picking range top laners into me. It just doesn't work. Despite her getting a lot of kills, honestly, and being pretty good, I was able to just scale until late and help the team win. Chat, are we actually back? I'm thinking we back. Game 65. We were able to beat a Garen, and with the help of our jungler, carry our team into another win. Game 66, and 2/3 mark, our win streak continued. But we did do a little bit worse into the crocodile compared to our last few games, but overall, still a win. Game 67. It was a struggle, dude. We lost the lane pretty hard to a Teemo, but somehow we came back enough to win despite our Nasus refusing to. He was a classic Nasus, just wanting to scale more. It's like, dude, this is a win, but the fact that I had to struggle for the win, it offsets the wins, right? It's like, oh fuck, now my mental's fucked, and the point where I think the snap occurred. Game 68. The first game, we got absolutely macro gapped. This is where my willpower wasn't gone, but I was severely affected. We were into our first silver player, and man, getting obliterated like that by just a silver Aurelia. Someone who also isn't considered very good at the game, and yet we get completely outclassed in every way possible. I couldn't, man. I don't know. This is where I really lost the willpower to try to keep improving and keep winning. I'd say this is the point where the downfall really occurred. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end the review process here. While I did play through the last 32 games, I played through all 100, I got through it. After that game, I don't think I really learned anything. My mindset was gone. I was just running off pure willpower and just pure wanting to get the challenge done. So I don't think there's much point in me reviewing these games, I'll be honest. I have conflicting feelings when it comes to this challenge. I'm glad I did it and really proved myself I could stick through with something for a extended period of time and really complete something that felt like it would take willpower, right? I've been having a big problem on YouTube recently where I feel like I'm not putting enough work towards my content, so I really felt like coming out here and doing a video like this would feel good. And I also wanted to see if League was for me, give it a fair shot, and I don't know if I did that. But I'll be honest, I don't know if I can do that. There is just so many mental blocks with me when it comes to this game. The games take so long, I can't help but blame my teammates. The wins, they do not feel as good as the losses for me. I can see the appeal for the game. I think if you have even a little bit tempted to play League, I think you should try it and see if the game is for you. Because genuinely, I have seen it really help people. I have seen it being a good game. But it's just not that for me. It's good to kind of get this practice, get this feeling with video games to really see, what I want to do, right? Because I don't know if I've found that yet. And I think this video was a very good test to see what's up. But yeah, in the end, I think I did fail. I think I should have tried a bit more to really try to get better at the game, try to be good at the game, but I couldn't. So yeah, the game's complete, I guess. that's my general thoughts on the game itself. Now moving into kind of video topic here. This video didn't come out how I thought it would, I'll be honest. I had a different idea for how this video would go, but then I watched it back and I was like, I just don't like it. And I'm not too happy with this version either, but I think it's better. I think it is more my style. Let me know what you think. I really wanted to try this higher effort thing. I'm not gonna edit this much because I'm just not good at editing, man. But yeah, let me know. I wanted to put in a lot more effort towards this, but I'm not able to. I don't know. But yeah, this may be my last sort of highly scripted video, this sort of just pure talking video that goes on for a while. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe this does well. Maybe I can look back at this and be like, oh, actually, this wasn't so bad. But my base feelings on it right now, I would rather kind of make those faster paced videos. Not so brain slop videos, but not these, like, hour-long commentary shit. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, we're only not even to our second year on this channel yet, man. I got time to figure this shit out, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna keep producing content, and let's just see what happens, shall we? I guess there's only one last thing to do before we end this video. Freedom.